Good evening and welcome along to the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me this evening is my very good man, and he looks like he's ditched the hoodies and found something else he's stolen or whatever else he's taking or whatever he's got his wee horns on. Maybe he got it after a Man United game the other night. How are you, wee Shawnee boy? It's good to see you.
Like I says, mate, I'm sporting the gym gear, which I don't think I look like I go to the gym.
The gym gear's no sporting you. I don't know about that.
Maybe 7 years ago, mate, when I kicked the old soccer ball, but no anyway, mate. I'm a wee bit of return now than I was 7 years ago, mate. So still like to buy the Slim Fit, but to kid on them in that mould and stuff. But
It's a different type of balls you're kicking now, isn't it?
Aye, the half 10 balls. Aye, they are. That's a different story. No, I'm good, mate. Obviously, we're on a night shift tonight. Obviously, busy guys today, mate. So good to get back. Good to get back on, mate. I was doing the day job the other day, so feels like an eternity since I've been on. But no, like I say, mate, good to get back home yourself, mate. Obviously, Big Alan's get a wee night half a night, so hope he's all right as well, and hopefully we can see a few bit of transfer latest in the next few days. Obviously, a bit starting to pop up now, mate. So hopefully that's kind of kick-started the window. And again, there's a few points that I'm not happy about with the way things are going on. But again, you know me, mate, I like a wee rant, so I don't think that's any use to anybody. It's just like me. I don't think that's used to the people that watch the podcast, mate. But I hope you're well, mate. And let's get the show on the road, as they say.
Yes, I'm very well, mate. I'm smiling. So we're somebody's doing something right, or I'm doing something right, or maybe even I'm doing something wrong. I don't know.
Again, we'll keep that for the 10:30 show.
Aye, definitely. We'll be back later on with an update with that one. But aye, all good, mate. Obviously, I don't know whether I'm enjoying this wee break or not. When I was saying to Alan the other night, talking about the football, and I says, I don't know if I'm enjoying this wee break because you just miss going to, you look forward to the next Celtic game again, you know what I mean? So, and then, obviously, to keep your minds on football, you've had other matches. Me and you spoke about the Middlesbrough and Chelsea game just last night.
Yeah, poor team into Chelsea.
Aye, very bad, very bad. I mean, that's a different mob altogether, but just to keep us sort of in check with football, you've got that to look forward to, I suppose. But all in all, mate, we're in now about the 10th of January, and we're now starting to see some transfer activity, potentially both ways for the club now. And like I've said to you before, mate, all good things come to those who wait. But just obviously for no this man here, Mr. Plunge McNugget, he says, "Good evening, boys. 9 hours late, never mind, better late than never." Now, Mr. Plunge has clearly not got the memo. There was an announcement went out last night about a change of plan today. But it's good that you've managed to set your alarm clock, Plunge, and you've managed to get yourself here in time. And you don't need a note for your mammy or anything like that, know what I mean? But all in all, it's good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. And Ange M says, "Good evening, JP and Ryan. Plunge, what are you late for?" And there ends up a wee conversation going on with Ange and Plunge. I'm not putting up every single comment because you wouldn't even put that on your 10:30 show, by the way. Kevin Ferrier joins us as well. He said, "Hail, guys." And we've got a new commenter. Not seen this one before. Steph McDonald. Evening, guys. Good evening, Steph. I hope you're very well, pal. Thank you for joining us also. Merrill Wyatt. Hail, he says. Good evening, Hail. Hail to yourself. And Vincent O'Brien. Hail, the Celtic all the way from Dublin. I do hope you're talking about yourself and you've not got Celtic stored away in Dublin there, Vincent, and that's how you've said the Celtic. But I think we get the gist of what you're meaning, mate. Yes, folks, as we said, Celtic are now starting to make some moves, and I wish I had that button that you can hear a round of applause and one of those clapping hands that come up on the screen for everybody. Alan can do all the animations with his phone, can't he? But all in all, mate, obviously a couple of outgoings. First to talk about, Nat Phillips has made his departure. He's way back to Liverpool. And we've got Yosuke Idaguchi. He's made his move permanently over to Wisla Kobe in Japan, Kyogo's former team. So it looks pretty close that you're looking at maybe Rocco Vata is going to be the next one out the door. Looks like Bologna are very keen on the lad, Ryan. Again, mate, we spoke at length about this, Ryan, in terms of Stephen Miles. He was linked to Italy no long ago there. He's, boys like Rocco. I've probably seen boys like Lewis Ferguson go to Italy do very well. Josh Doigs, Aaron Hickey. So these boys have been very successful when they've went over to Italy, and maybe it's just different coaching, mate. Maybe different coaches have got different eyes, and but the boy Rocco Vata, it's very, very disrespectful for me to make any sort of proper call on that lad, mate, when we've not really seen next to nothing. We've seen pittings on him in terms of what he can do. Yes, he showed some flashes again, but again, mate, we've been down this road. It's not the first rodeo we've had with that, and we've seen that in Mikey Johnston. So I think, all in all, mate, could be a good move for the lad as well. He's young. I know Barry Bannon spoke to us as well, and it's a message he's clearly put out when he's been on with. Any young guy aspiring to go and do well, it's maybe not going to cut the mustard at the Celtic first team. Maybe try their hands at going to Europe, mate.
I think if I was in this situation, mate, again, I know I've not played football a while, mate, obviously due to injury and whatever else happens to guys, mate, but I would recommend anybody who's young, if they can go abroad and experience life, if that's in football terms, even if it's females and their kind of work as well, go away and experience things. For me, JP life's too short, mate, and I know Celtic's a massive club, but just in terms of me, and I was younger, I went abroad and worked and I knocked it back for certain circumstances, and now I can regret it. So for guys like Rocco Vata, in terms of his career, it's obviously on him, Miss JP, that he's not going to play at Celtic.
Yes.
We were down to bare bones at the start of the season, and he was near the team, and he's playing against part-timers. He's still in line, by the way, still a good level at that level. Still guys who take their football serious, but he's not getting tested enough at the lower league to then come up and play with Celtic, and to get his career nurtured, he's probably better going away, JP. And probably going away to Italy, and again it'll be a new culture, a new language, different experiences. I don't know if he's single, he'll meet an Italian woman, there you go. There's loads of things, mate, that it's actually probably more pros for him to go to Italy than it would be to stay at Celtic, and it's probably more to do with his development as a man as well.
You better hope his ma, Big Rudy's not watching this, by the way, and you end up putting in a message to you.
Aye, no, like I say, it's just a total different lifestyle from mate, and I think for his own development, he'd be better going and trying something different, and then maybe come back to Scotland a few years' time if nothing's happened over there. But if he goes to Italy, JP, obviously they see something in him to maybe give him an offer. Again, like you've just said there, we are in the privy to go and see the B team games every weekend or during the week and stuff. So we can't comment too much. He's obviously got ability, like I say, to be in Celtic's academy. You've got to have something, because gone are the days now where Celtic stockpile if you're not good enough. You've got to have some sort of ability. So I think on him, mate, I think for his own ability and his own lifestyle, I think he's probably better for his own career, mate. Take away what Celtic needs as a club, what he needs for his own development and his future, mate. I would probably say go away and learn new things. In terms of Idaguchi, it's not worked out. We've kind of get the same amount of money back as well. So, business sense, it makes sense for him as a player, and it makes sense for the club to get money back and get some money off the wage bill. It's one player less in the squad. Nat Phillips, again, it's not worked out. He came with a decent pedigree. He was... but any time he came in Liverpool, I think during the COVID season, actually, he played a bit of games, a decent amount of games. He's won the Champions League. He might have not played in it, or he did, or he didn't. People can kind of make out what they want of that, but he still won the Champions League. He's still part of that. Jurgen Klopp still feels he's valuable enough to be Liverpool. So it's just not worked out, mate. Whether that's injuries or whatever else, it's just not worked out, mate. But overall, I think maybe starting to kind of get the beating out of some guys who are not going to be playing, maybe out loan, like you say, Michy Johnson. Again, I think for his career, JP, I think he'd be best leaving Celtic just for his own career and his own development, because I don't want to say that he's going to stump his growth at Celtic, but if he's not going to be playing every week at Celtic, he could go to either Hibs, Aberdeen, he could go back to Portugal, he could go to Italy, he could go maybe the second division of Spain or whatever, and probably play a lot more than he will be at Celtic. So these guys need to think about, as much as Celtic's massive and they might be on decent wages for maybe not really playing or their age or their stature at the club, if you go elsewhere and develop, you're going to get better. Not just better as a footballer, JP, but I think as a better person as well, because you'll learn new things, you'll learn new people. It's a better social maybe aspect going abroad as well, different culture, different diets. So I think overall, mate, for these people at Celtic who are not playing, especially guys like Michy Johnson, young guys, and Rocco Vata, even Mitchell Frame, if he's not going to be playing at Celtic, either go on loan or go away permanently and then go and sort your stuff elsewhere. I think for me, that's probably the best, but I would put on them. Obviously, JP, Celtic's massive. You want to beat massive clubs, you want to play in Europe, you want to win trophies, but football's not just about sitting getting money. You need to go and get your own development, and in the day, that's your job. And nobody likes, especially a football player. I'd like to imagine, just through my mentality, mate, and obviously speaking to yourself for a long, long time now, and knowing you that well now, that football's not for sitting on the bench, it's for playing football and kind of being at your craft, not just getting wages. So
at the very least, you're contributing anyway.
So I think that's probably for the guys who are not playing, probably a long way about your question, mate, but just to get through a bit of nitty-gritty thing, I think they're probably better going away than staying and just getting wages, because their development and growth's going to, in my opinion, possibly get stopped at Celtic if they're not playing every week.
Oh, I've missed you, Andy Gray. So I really have. I've missed you going in me rants, man. I'm telling you, Big Alan doesn't do enough talking on here, mate. He does. Maybe a wee word with that football monitor.
Right, two sugars. I'm a bit
you carry on. What as the song goes, leave it to those who are willing.
Aye.
Somebody says that to Alan the other night.
I'll come out Neil winning. This is not the beginning. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Oh,
this is just the beginning. Oh no, the dizziness. Oh no.
Dizziness. I'm bringing the thunder back. Aye.
You brought the feel good factor back anyway, Neil. I'll tell you that right now. Your wee tangents you got on there. There you go, look. And Jem knows you too well, I know. It's not like you're trying to go on a long road for a shortcut. It definitely is not. And for everybody that's watching us now, believe me, that was short. Believe me right now, that was
short.
You
go. We've got a fan of Steph. Steph likes it, so if one person likes it, I'm happy.
There you go. There you go. Steph's looking for you to start doing vlogs yourself, mate.
I think I know on this amalgam.
She's got to be your top subscriber for vlogs, definitely.
I'll take that, new brother. That's cool.
I'm trying to get my burn. Che Cooney, Che Cooney. It's a commenter that I've not seen very often on here. And Che says, I bought my Celtic ticket today for I'm assuming that's for the Ross County game. Looking forward to the pints and to see Celtic. Che, I hope you have a fantastic day out, pal. I really do. I hope you have a great day when the time comes and the game comes for you, because going to Paradise is something special. And I'm assuming if you've bought a match day ticket, which possibly means you might not have a season book. It's a special day out. If Celtic are on form and they're on fire, it makes your day even much more beneficial for going. So, pal, whenever that time comes, I hope you have a fantastic time doing it. I really do.
I think I'll need to do a wee freebie night. I mean, looks at JP. People say I'm charging too much here for the half-time show. I might need to.
You'll need to do one of the Freshers Week at the Students' Day, man. Start PRing it in the streets now.
I'll need to do a Black Friday deal.
Aye, we'll come up with something, a purple Thursday deal or something like that for you, or something like that. Or get your pink hoodie on, put your salmon hoodie on again.
Friday deal, there you go, man.
Salmon Saturday. Salmon Saturdays. or a slippy salmon Sunday deal.
Slippy, oh, that's a good one, isn't it? That's a good one,
Slippy,
isn't it?
aye.
That's
a good one. He's well known up here, isn't he, Slippy?
He's still for that type of. It's still for that.
No, it's definitely not for that type of slipperiness. There's a bit of moistness at the end of it, but definitely not for that. But
right, back to the football. Come on.
Good evening, Barry. Hope you're well, mate. It's nice for you to join us. I've got a wee note off you at the end, mate, as to why you're late. Normally you're a bit earlier in the comments with that one, but good evening, mate. I hope you're well. Hi. Couple of comments coming in there about Peter Lawwell and things. I'm obviously trying to read some of that and get my head around.
Oh, is Big Peter getting it again?
He's getting it, Derry. Plunge says he's no fault there at all. Plunge says he's. Where is it? Hold on, I get it again. Right. Plunge says he's right. So, Plunge says Lawwell's refusing to pay £4 million for his Euro.
What is Peter Lawwell paying the £4 million?
I don't know. I wasn't aware. But I take it he paid the £6 million for Cameron Carter-Vickers
and Jota.
£6 million for Jota in it as well. But
I get you.
Listen, guys, we're doing a question and answer. It's all over social media. We're doing a question and answer for tomorrow night. So a lot of those kind of questions are probably going to be best placed for tomorrow. If you want to wait for the excitement. We'll see if the wee man can pull out a bit of sulkiness for Steph if she's going to join us tomorrow. By the way, see when he played football, he wasn't sulky, trust me.
No, I wasn't sulky, no. I was quite just other things in life. It's live, mate. You can't script it, do you know what I mean?
No, we can't. It'd be dead hard for me and you to read off a script, so it would. It really, really would.
No, I couldn't. No, I'm no fan of scripts.
But there was a question also too. It was from Ross Williams. And then I'll try and obviously take up your points, right? Do you think we will make a move for Jordan Henderson, or do you think wages would be too high? Ross, me and Ryan have spoke at length, and I'll answer this one because we don't like being rude on here, as you know. We like to try and make as much interaction with you guys as we can. But again, tomorrow is we're question and answer night, so questions like that are going to be best placed for tomorrow. But I'll do this one because I'd already scrolled by Ross's question. I'll be probably straight now and say no. I don't think Celtic will go for Jordan Henderson. This is my reasoning for this, Ross. It's not because I don't think Celtic think they can't get Jordan Henderson or money would play a part in it. I think Celtic have enough funds there that they could negotiate some sort of deal for Jordan Henderson if he was unhappy enough that he makes a move from Saudi. I know things are going on there from the outside of what I'm reading, and he's obviously not happy at certain aspects of what's happening over there. I'm hearing a lot of the players are. The guys that made the bigger moves and the kind of bigger name players, it's not looking up to as what it might have been lucrative in terms of money, but in terms of what you're playing and the kind of the technique of the game, I'm hearing it's not there from what I'm hearing on the outset, Ross. But I don't think Celtic will go for someone like Jordan Henderson, and my reason why is the emergence of Paulo Bernardo and the return of Rio Hatate. I just don't know where Jordan Henderson would then fit into Celtic's setup at this present time when you have Matt O'Reilly, Callum McGregor. You've still got a Wata lingering around as well. It's an area of the field, Ross, I think we're really bulked in. And there is other areas that do need addressed. There's one or two areas we'll get away until the summer, one being the goalkeeping position, one being the left-back position. I reckon we need another striker, and I reckon we need another wide player, because you've seen how quickly the team went flat when Abada and Maeda were both injured at the same time. So that's my reasoning, Ross, to be honest with you, in terms of why I don't think Celtic will sign Jordan Henderson. But that's not to say Celtic wouldn't sign Jordan Henderson. That's just my reasons why I think Celtic won't sign Jordan Henderson. However, if Jordan Henderson made the move to Celtic, it would be absolutely monstrous for us. And it would certainly put it on the map. It would certainly bring Scottish football into a new light as well, because I think a lot of the English media and stuff, Ross, they're very quickly to put our game down. And you've got Scott Brown recently banging the drum. He was on the William Hill podcast as well with Tim Sherwood, and he's been on the media the last wee while as well, banging the drum about how good Scottish football actually is and how competitive it can be. And with a name like Jordan Henderson added to a name like Brendan Rodgers in the league could only be beneficial for us all. Ryan?
It's a good question. I've seen, obviously, I think the links are maybe just agent talk, or it's just trying to link Henderson with Rodgers, or they're maybe just trying to get teams talking. Again, a lot of people, Ross, don't understand kind of the way things do work behind the scenes and stuff, and agents do that. Like, agencies say that this club wants people and this club wants people, and sometimes it's just to gain interest because of where Henderson's went to, and because he's left England. He's still playing in England as it stands. He's not retired. He might be picked for Euros. Who knows? I think if he moves back to the Premier League, there's a massive chance that he could potentially at least make the England squad. But they've got a very good squad, England. They're going to be wanting to try and win it. So they'll probably have the younger people try to go the more than experienced, because I think England, have, as much as we're Scottish and we don't like England, you've got to appreciate good footballers, and they are a very good outfit. In terms of Henderson, again, it's all not just Henderson, guys of that ilk. All you need to do is ask the question. The chance of them coming due to wages is probably impossible, unless they're going to take a humongous wage cut to obviously to come to a club like Celtic. But again, Celtic's massive, but McGregor's probably on the most money. Rodgers probably on the highest manager salary. You would probably need to give him that and maybe a bit more in incentives and stuff. So I would happily take Henderson, by the way, see if Henderson's available. I know what you're saying, JP, but you can't have enough quality in your squad. So if a guy like that was available and he was thinking about talking, or again, it's not going to happen, right? I'm just saying, as a positive scenario, that he could potentially come, you make way for him. And a guy like Henderson, if he came to Celtic, he's here to play. He's not going to sit on the bench. So if that means O'Reilly steps out, Awata steps out, McGregor, whoever it is, somebody will step out because he will be playing. But I think it's just agent talk, if I'm honest with you, Ross. I just can't see it happening. Probably similar to JP. That's the names you want. It's the names you would love to get at Celtic, the quality, but the wages are massive, and I doubt he's going to. Is it no £700 a week or something he's getting there? It's crazy money if he's going to drop that and then come to Celtic for maybe, even though it's still a lot of money, £30 a week. I'd probably know at this type of his career. But listen, see what happened. Happy days. But I do think JP, I don't know what you think, mate, but I think it's maybe just paper talk, agent talk to try and ramp up his transfers.
Yeah, I mean, an element of every transfer window, Ryan, you would call it silly season, don't you? That seems to be the go-to phrase. And you know yourself, mate, we're talking to guys on here now for quite a foreseeable time now. We have, I mean, what is he on? He's on reported something like $350,000 a week or something over in Saudi.
They go off for it with $700,000.
Right away, if you're still listening, Ross, that puts Jordan Henderson not even on the plane to Glasgow, let alone even picking up the phone to answer. So I just don't see that move happening for a number of reasons. But one would be a finance. The biggest thing would be the finances, definitely. But don't get me wrong, the name and the brand and everything, it would bed really well for us. But again, I don't think, guys and girls, that we have to go for this massive name. I don't think that's the way to go about it. See, as long as they have genuine quality and they're going to be ready-made type player to come in and contribute to the first 11. And what I've said it for the last couple of weeks. See, when you put guys in beside guys like Palmer, Matt O'Reilly, Rio Watati, Leila Bada, and these guys have got an injection of quality, Kyogo, etc. Ryan, you know what it does to you, mate, when you get to training? It lifts you.
Mm-hmm.
Your levels just lift. And yeah, you start dropping wee bits in here and there, and the levels will just rise. And you'll see it. Confidence was already getting higher because of, like I says, the emergence of Paolo Bernardo and Mike Miovski over the last couple of games. So fitness levels will become better, performance levels will become better, players will start getting used to it. Players will start to pick up on Bernardo's runs, Bernardo's movements. Is he quality? Is he good? Is he not? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? So, yeah, like I says, it's like I says, it's one of those ones, Ryan, where you sometimes you don't need to go and look for that marquee big name, like, because sometimes it doesn't work. But we've seen guys like Aaron Ramsey come up here and not do very well. Joey Barton was coming up here to tear this place up. He was a big name for down south. Look what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, mate, you don't need to be that big name. What you need to do is have the right attributes about you. Come in and do it quietly and do it effectively in the team.
Like I says, mate, I've got a wee bit of a rant in terms of kind of value of players and stuff, but I'll keep that till later on near the end of the podcast. I don't want to kind of steal it all, mate, because I know there's a lot to go through, right? But no, I think it's all down to the name Henderson's a massive name. He's still a top player. He'd be amazing at Celtic, but you've got to think about it as well. January's a hard month to go and get the top players you want. Ideally, it's going to be the summer because you've got more time to recruit in the summer. You've got a bigger window to go and shop the players. You know roughly. You know roughly round about who's going to be leaving, who's going to be staying, and the value and stuff. And listen, January's always a hard month. I know people say that's maybe cliche, but the top team is very, very buy amazing players in January. It's always a summer they do their business. I can see, I think it was a Street Striker or Street Shutter too, the comment there. I can see, listen, if Henderson wants to come to Celtic, he'll come to Celtic. I don't think it's a day with Celtic asking Henderson. If Henderson wants to come to Celtic, I'd like to think his agent would pick up the phone and say, look, he's available, he'll come for this money. He's coming. I don't think Celtic would knock him back. There you go. It's all down to the money, but for me, I think it's all agent talk, JP. And again, until somebody signs at the club, mate, or there's a massive link that's going to happen very soon, then I'm just going to kind of batter it one way, mate. And I've seen punches about the Batman, Batshuayi as well. Again, he's on high money. There was links to Rangers, obviously, this morning. Again, I think that's all it is. It's just because he's Belgium and Clermont's Belgium as well. Again, in my opinion, he's a good experienced striker. He would definitely do one of the two teams, even Celtic. I would take him to Celtic. I think he's far better than Big O. His pedigree's very, very good. Good international experience. No really had the best the last few years. But I think if somebody of that quality, if they don't come up to Scotland and score goals and do well, then their career's maybe going to go to a bit of a downward spiral. That's no diss in your game, by the way. I'm just saying that you're going for Chelsea, Dortmund, Fenerbahce, and come to Celtic means in Scotland and nobody will score against St Mirren, Aberdeen, Hibs. Your career's not really going to go up again. It's going to probably go down. So these guys need to think about that as well. I think, JP, these guys need to come here and think it might be silly things like we spoke to a guest today, and it's wee small things that matter. The weather, the family side there, the social side there. There's loads of things that impact why guys...
100%.
There's guys, things like that, why guys might not come. And and actually do well. I actually watched a bit on. If anybody wants to watch it, I'll speak about it later in the podcast. But Roy Keane, the overlap and Guy Neville stuff, and the recent one. It's a brilliant podcast, what they've done, and I'm going to give me and you and Alan a bit of kind of credit here, JP, because some of the stuff they were saying on it's stuff we've said on here about how it's not just about how good they are, it's about their family might not be settled, the school might not be good, everything's no good behind the scenes, and that's why they don't perform on the park. It's not because of their ability. There's loads of things. So if anybody's kind of at a dead end and they want to know about my recruitment or stuff like that, then I'd definitely recommend that in the overlap. But no, I agree with JP. I think that's just going to be a name that's just talked about paper talk, and I think it's maybe just to get the kind of revamp his transfer rumours going, because I just can't see Celtic signing him, mate. I just think it's the wage bracket's just ridiculous, and if Celtic sign somebody like that, then you would need to sell 3 or 4 players to. I know we've got £70 million in the bank, but that doesn't mean you need to then go and spend all that. You need to spend your money wisely on quality, and he's quality, but the amount of money you're going to give him, it would probably blow your wage budget for the month. So you've got to look at that side as well, mate.
Give you a bit of breaking news tonight for Gigi on the YouTube. He's just seen Doris De Vries and Oliver Burke walking into Celtic Park with Brendan. It's nice to know that you're down at 9:05 on a Wednesday night. You're down at Celtic Park and you've seen the lads going in.
Gigi, see as long as Ollie Bucks get Megan McKenna next to him, then fire away. I'll take that.
Chris Harkins, he said, new to your podcast, love it. Crazy time on transfer rumours.
Cheers, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Feel free to share it, Chris, and you can subscribe for free as well, mate. We don't charge for subscriptions. Hold on, I'll put my teeth in. No, we don't charge for that, so feel free to share away, mate, amongst your Celtic family and friends if you can. Steph McDonald, you want to do the same? That's fine, pal. You can do that as well. But yeah, Gigi, you're doing well, mate, and tell you what, you're probably better than Keith Jackson and Chris McLaughlin, all the boys that are normally first 8 and you are, mate. Because usually that would be breaking news right now all over. My phone may be going the way Ryan Soft 10 show flashes up like Blackpool Pleasure Beach or that net.
That's just like my phone in general, mate. You've seen my phone, mate. It doesn't stop, man. It's like a vibrating Rampant Rabbit, so it is my phone, man.
Aye. You've not got a phone, your phone's a multitasker. It's a pogo stick at 10 o'clock at night, isn't it?
Aye, and other things, aye.
Well, your neighbours think you're a gymnast.
That's why I'm smoking the gym again.
No, he's getting excited for the podcast. That's all he's doing. He's just getting excited.
My star jumps in that, getting warmed up for the night, you know what I mean?
Aye. Big Alan gets stuck doing his stretches. That's how he's no ways tonight.
Aye. Oh, the dizziness.
Aye. Ripped his tights and made on a stair.
My good tights, I know. Good tights.
Santa just brought him in, man. He's got absolutely gutted, so he is.
Aye, £4 at Sue's on. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, superb, man.
Is that shop shut down now? That was always shut down.
Did after he bought the last 4 pair of Crocs out it. He bought the last 4 pair of Crocs. They were all on sale. He got them on a sale on a meal deal with the 2 Celtic jerseys he got when he was just coming home from Tenerife.
Oh, is that the Diamontes he got on the Manor?
Aye.
So it's not a Jazz, it's a Crocs.
He got a free Rihanna signal, shine bright like a diamond, it says, I know.
Mind that, by the way, people. But it's one thing I'll say that I didn't do. Is hanging about with chinos and Rihanna t-shirts. I never done that in my life. What was that all about?
You didn't do it, but you know a couple of guys that did.
Aye. I know a lot of few guys that did it. Aye.
One of them gave me that salmon hoodie you keep wearing.
See, that's Baz's fault, man. He's got all you hating my jumpers now, man.
You're the only guy I know buys a hoodie and gets a Pet Shop Boys album with it.
Woof. Oh, brilliant.
Getting back to your point, though, Mikey Johnston, right? I think it would be beneficial for a lad if he goes and gets game time, proper game time elsewhere. what is he, 24? He's nearly 25 now. Is he really going to make a massive impact in this team? I don't see it, Ryan. I really don't. I think if we were going to see it, mate, we'd have seen it before now. And you know me, mate, I don't like downing these guys who are in the profession and doing the job. But Michy, overall, he's probably not going to get the game time he desires at Celtic. And as I said, it's there comes a point in time, mate, where every player will come to Greg Taylor, James Forrest, even Cal McGregor. They'll get their shelf life, and then they'll need to move on. That's what happens, and it happens to good players as well, mate. But the player transfer model is where Celtic are most successful, Ryan. It's the way they act, it's the way how quickly they do their business, and how they change it. You know, you replace Bruni with Cal McGregor. Look at all the captains we've had through the years, mate. You're talking like even I'm maybe even going to do you a favour here and just the ones that you'll remember. You know, even before your time with Roy Aitken, Billy McNeil, guys like that, Danny McGinn. But guys you'll remember, you've got like Paul McStay, Paul Lambert, Tom Boyd, Jackie McNamara had a shot at it as well. Oh, Scottish, like guys who are born and bred and know what the club is all about. And that for me, mate, is massive. And then when you get that through the spine of your team, you know, you bring in a goalkeeper who loves the club. Look at Big Boric. Joe Hart's take to it as well. It's, you know, guys like that, Fraser Foster bought into it as well. So like I say, it's there's a common see when you look at it and you narrow it and you break it all down, Ryan, there's a common repetitive theme there, mate, of winning. Celtic are bred by winners. They're cloaked in success. And that's all we've ever known as Celtic fans for the last 20 odd years. You know, and even like say the Lisbon Lions, and they were the pioneers of everything the club stands for right now, Ryan. So see any supporter, or fan, or anybody at all that's always in that stage of doubt or panic, you've just got to remember the way the club's been run. I think you've got to keep that in mind. I think that's key, Ryan. I really do. I think that's key. But when you're going for that to then looking at the players, and Celtic will always do business, mate, for the benefit of the club. You're not going to get every transfer spot on. But what they can guarantee is, along with some of the negative guys that will come in and maybe not make a grade, and you know they'll move on, but they'll bring in a guy who, like a Jota, like a Nakamura, like a guy that's going to come in and light the place up. So I think that's something important, Ryan, for a lot of fans to bear in mind as well, mate.
Aye, we've had a lot of winners, mate. A lot of good signings, guys that have come into the club with good characters, and maybe that's what you've seen with Ange, and you can maybe see that with Brendan. They'll just want to sign good players. The players need to fit the squad kind of harmony as well. You don't want to bring somebody who might be a fantastic player, but they might not be the best of eggs in terms of maybe the attitude outside their work, or they might not be able to join in with the team. And you need a balance. You're playing dressing room yourself, JP. You need a good dressing room, and even when things.
Thanks for joining me, Steph. Thank you.
Oh, cheers, Steph. Thank you. You're playing dressing room yourself, JP, and you need a good dressing room, especially maybe things aren't going well. When you're maybe losing like we have in the past 2 games in a row, you're maybe not doing well in Europe. You need a good dressing room to keep the harmony ticking, and maybe that's what maybe didn't help us in the COVID season. Guys don't really not want to be here just due to obviously circumstances, and then it affects the dressing room. Your dressing room's got to be the same characters. I'll just say this wee bit, mate, and then I'll let you kind of talk a lot, because I'll just say my opinions, mate. I've said to you, I'm getting slightly pissed off with kind of like some kind of like the fans. It's an entitlement that every signing we do, every linked we're signed with, every player we're linked with, everybody scrutinises it. Why are we not paying him this money? Why are we not doing this? He's not good enough. Listen, we all want, like you says, we all want big signings. We all want the big names. We all want to go and spend Edward money, Jota money, etc. The reason I bring this up is obviously there's links to the boy Aduro for Portugal for Estrel. He's a left back winger, kind of left mid. We're talking £4 million, but Celtic again, they're probably going bid again. As it stands at the moment, Celtic's first bid might be £3.5 million, but they want 4. Very rarely does a club's first bid get accepted. Most clubs, even the biggest clubs, your Man United, your Bayern Munich's, they put a bid in, they see how it's going to work out, they put a wee kind of their toe into the water, right? Yeah. Okay, right, you bid 50 million, right? Geese 55 with maybe 10%, you've got a deal. So Celtic could be just testing what here, right? We bid £3 million. They might go, we want 4, but then what if we give you 3.7 with this add-on, they might say yes. If Celtic, the way I see it is, right, I'm not happy clapper. I'm been against the board for a big party things, but I've been praised them as well. You can't just give them orange up the world because they have done some good things, right? The recruitment team and the board have got a value to look at the club as well, not just about buying players. If they feel that somebody's no worth £4 million, why should they go and pay over the board what they feel the value at the moment in time?
Yeah,
the player doesn't suit that value. You can't, like, we all know John McGinn should have signed guys who have been in the past who we should have paid an extra 400 grand or an extra 10 pence, whatever you want to call it. But you can't predict the future. You can't predict in 2 years' time that they're going to be amazing. This is just at the time. Celtic might not think this player is worth £4 million, which in my knowledge and what I feel, it's fine. If Celtic do not want to pay £4 million and they feel they can get somebody who maybe £4 million somewhere else for a better player who might be worth that money, then I'm fine with that. Every player, Celtic will have a list. They'll maybe have 3 players for each position, 4 players. If they can't get a top guy, they'll go to second, and then it gets to 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Then you're maybe straight in the barrel. But the club will know who they want. They'll put feelers out, and if Celtic might have something £1 million in the bank, right? Doesn't mean they need to go and spend overboard just to make us, yes, we've got a player now, £5 million, brilliant. I'm a big believer on you can get what you pay for now. We pay £5 million for Ayeti, Barkas, and I was one of them. Pay the money, get them in. They're good players, experienced. Look how that worked. And we maybe went a bit hasty because it was COVID and we had to get players in. If Celtic as a club do not feel it, he's worth £4 million, I'll put this to you, JP. Why should the club go and pay £4 million for somebody that they might value at £3 million, but £4 million they might go, do you know what? He might be a good player, but we can get a better player for that price somewhere else. So you've got, just because you've got money, it doesn't mean you need to go and spend £15 million or you need to go overboard. The English market's so inflated, it's unbelievable. But for me, JP, I just want us to get the best players. I want quality, but I don't want us to spunk money. Miovski and Lagerbielke, I like Miovski. I think he's a very high talented player. But right now, you can't say they've all done brilliantly. They've spent £8 million. We wanted centre-backs, we wanted money spent. We've spent it, and as yet, it's not worked. So there's got to be a balance sheet. You've got to buy the value of the player, and the club have got to look at a value as a perspective going forward. Football's a business, as much as it is to me, you, JP, and the fans. We love the club, but Celtic is a business. And when I'm not here and we're not here, Celtic still runs a business. You've got to look at them across the water. They're still living 6 months to 8 months to 12 months in the line.
Everything's short term.
Aye, so don't you feel on that, mate, if you think I'm overboard, if you think people might think I'm a happy
you're spot on. I agree with that. Well, me and you think normally
it's one thing I'm not a happy clapper. I want us to go and spend the money. I've criticised the board. They backed Ange to the halt blind. They gave him money for Kyogo, Maeda, guys he's never seen before. And they've got to remember as well, like I've said to you, it's actually on the overlap thing as well when Roy Keane says it. The board have got attachments to agents, so they'll always go through agents for certain players. The manager might not sign these players. The recruitment staff might sign these players. The board might know an agent who gives them tips, like he's worth £3 million. but maybe in 10 years' time, Barry's still getting the new. In 10 years' time, no 10 years, say 2 years' time, it can be off this amount of money, get him the new. But it might not work out. It might, every sign's a gamble, but when you pay good money for players, JP, it normally, in this day and age, you get what you pay for. But if Celtic and the manager do not feel, or the recruitment team think that somebody's worth £5 million, but they want £7 million, why should they go overboard when that might mess up the full budget? That's what I'll put to you, mate.
Yeah, no, you're relating back to the Boyers Euro, the Portuguese lad. I had a wee look at his numbers earlier, Ryan, and
They're not great.
I'm going to be honest with you right now. And again, mate, I don't want to down the boy and, and say anything. Even when I seen the link a couple of days ago, and I went and had a look about him, and I wasn't too, and nothing was screaming at me there in terms of, yeah, let's do it. No, we've got, as much as probably you are above everybody, probably don't want to hear this right now. He's going to have to do very, very well to get Greg Taylor out of the team. A guy that's been in there as a number one now for a number of years. So the next guy that comes in, yeah, we're all of the same mindset. He needs to be a belter, because I'm going to maybe bust into Jerry Cinnamon songs here. We're doing the music tonight. We're Pet Shop Boys. We've been through a few of them here. As I said, he's going to have to be an absolute cracker to come in and take Greg Taylor out of the team, because Greg Taylor, like I say, Steve Ryan, albeit, he might not be at the level in terms of Europe, but domestically, Greg Taylor is very good, mate, very good. And he was very good in the derby. He was very good before we finished up there. He was one of our better performers, actually, in the team. So the Boyers Euro, to me, just doesn't scream, yeah, let's do it. And see if Celtic have went and maybe done their due diligence on the lad, or that link has came in the midst of all that, and maybe Brendan's got a look at that and went, nah, do you know what? We're not going to dive into this, because we've dived into the Lagerbielke deal. We paid £3.5 million, and it's maybe not worked out the way Brendan wanted. But like I said to you before, mate, a lot of that, for me, a lot of that recruitment was earmarked by the previous manager. Or a good bulk of that was. And I think Brendan's gave it the professional courtesy. The man he is, he's quite humble that way, and he's quite respectable that way, and and respectful as well. And he's come in and had a look at it, and then went, nah, definitely no. And yeah, as I say, I don't see this big hullabaloo that a lot of fans seem to want to paint, and it amazes me, Ryan. Right, I know you says you're getting a bit annoyed about it. It amazes me that fans seem to think that Celtic are haggling over money. They're at a point now where they're saying, no, we're not paying $4 million, or we'll only give you that. Because like you said a moment ago, mate, that's not the way transfers are done. It's not how they're dealt with. But it's easy for someone on the outside, Ryan, that maybe doesn't have that information or doesn't quite know, how that works. What it looks like probably to the outside. But I just think in transfer windows, mate, in general, not just this one or the ones previous, there seems to be a bit of anxiety. I seen a comment, I can't mind who it's from, it might be Merrill Wyatt actually, and he says that we're in a transfer, we're in a title race. This isn't our first rodeo, Merrill. We're in a title race every season, because our bread and butter and our first to-do on my to-do list is to win the league.
See the thing, I've seen a few comments, Shipeen, about the John McGinn thing, and I'll just say on my thing about it, right? And a lot of people who I've spoken to, you yourself, I even had a wee set to with Tim McManus on it as well. John McGinn, we all know what's happened with John McGinn, right? We all know that Celtic didn't maybe want to pay 500 grand or whatever it was, right?
But the deal was done. The deal was already, he told you himself, the deal was done before Celtic made an approach.
That one instance, you can't put every transfer about haggling money just on one transfer. It's no work. There's transfers that have no worked in the past that we've found out after different agents that we spoke to on here and stuff that it's never come out in the media. So it's not just John McGinn that might have no worked out due to wages or values.
Yeah.
I'll say this, right? At that point in time, we had, I think it was McGregor, Cham, Armstrong and Brown was the four in the middle of the park. And at that point in time, we were flying, right? We all know what happened with John McGinn. We all know the player he's turned out. He's a phenomenal player. He's one of Scotland's most important players to McGregor as well. Fantastic player. He would have maybe played with Celtic 6 months to a year time every week. It would be good to have him on the bench. But at that point in time, he would have to have been amazingly well in the first few months to get in front of their 4 teams. That's the guys that won invincible trebles. That's the guys that have played in Europe, beat Rosenborg away from home, etc. We all know in European side were no great. But at that point in time, John McGinn, in my opinion, wasn't going to commit into the Celtic team. He was a young boy.
Yeah.
He was inexperienced. He was at Hibs. Wasn't he Hibs? He wasn't like he was signing in Cham, who played, I think, he played in, was it Genoa or something like that in Italy in Serie A. John McGinn's not come to take his place right away. We all know, Living, people can say that Cham was lazy. He was near the end of his career. Living and Cham on his day he was a baller, by the way. People can say to me he wasn't, which is fine. I thought he was a very good player. Ivan Toney, Blake, I don't know if you've watched the podcast on Stephen Bartlett. Ivan Toney says it wasn't Celtic's issue. He spoke to Neil Lennon and he had Edward and he had Griffiths and he was convinced to be out of referee the first choice. He says that he didn't feel that he wanted to be the main man and come in, and he felt that he wasn't going to be the main man right away. So he jumped ship and went somewhere else. So he wanted to be the main man, and Lennon says, well, I can't guarantee that because I've got Griff and Edward here, which is fine. So, but the media pointed out, Celtic, he was at Celtic Park and he didn't sign because Celtic wanted a Yeti. The man told you himself what happened. So if people want to believe the media, that's totally fine.
But that's it, Ryan. That's a narrative that the media spins, and everybody just jumps on that gravy train and, that must be true because they've said it.
Listen, John McGinn would have been a phenomenal signing, but at that point in time, you had 4 guys who were playing week in, week out. Like, again, mate, no, everybody knows that. I do watch a lot of podcasts just because we do this and stuff. And Fletcher, again, I don't know the full ins and outs of that. I can only go on the media side. And I don't believe in media side, but I think that was due to maybe money. We do know we've talked to guys that Fletcher did want to come back. I think it was a tennis season, the season before, and it didn't happen. So that's just things that we've kind of been talking to guys on here and we've found out. But Celtic...
No, Blake, it wouldn't be the first time, mate, eh?
Aye. Celtic, the way it's not just Celtic, it's not just Rangers, it's not just all the big teams. Teams will... It's not haggling, it's no giving a deal. Right, okay, right, you want 10. Right, what if we give you 8 and then we give you £2 million a year time? These things happen. Not every transfer's paid up in full. Even these big clubs, do you think they're paying £150 million up front? It's very, very hard to do that. So don't be feeling that, JP. But I understand why fans get jittery about the big signings, and I'm the same. I think we should be going out to go and sign an £8 million, £7 million striker to match Kyogo. I think we should, but we're not going to do that because the club are not going to pay somebody with the same wages as I.E. McGregor to challenge Kyogo. When you've got O sitting there, they'll need to go O away first. So you've got to get rid of players first to get them in, etc. And I don't know how you feel, JP, but I'm a big critic of the board, but I also praise them at the same time. And if they feel that somebody's not worth the value that's going to benefit the club and benefit the wage structure or the value, then don't do it. In my opinion, it's no penny pinching. It's looking after the club and it's looking after the money what they've got for that window.
Yeah, no, listen, I think Michael Hay makes a great point there. There was always going to be a slight dip when Ange left. Celtic are back now. I think over the last few games, we saw Celtic get into a different style. There's been a massive transition at the club as well that a lot of the fans, and this is the thing that's annoying me, Ryan, right? I'm just going to say it tonight, and this will probably be the last time I mention it. Celtic years ago, and I think most of you folks that are sitting here watching us just now would possibly agree with me. Celtic years ago would have cashed in on what we would call our main assets. Celtic have used a whole chunk of that money and signed all our assets up in new contracts. Kyogo, Hatate, Maeda, Matt O'Reilly, Callum McGregor's not long signed a new deal. So right away, there's 5. Abada, there's another one, 6.
And they're probably on an extra few on the
Well,
week
that's
as
what
well.
I'm saying. They're obviously on extra money now, right? But see, 5 years ago, in the summer, we'd have probably cashed in Kyogo and Matt O'Reilly, regardless of whether we made the Champions League or not, folks. So I think a lot of Celtic fans are forgetting the work that's already been done to keep the players. Now, the nonsense that was getting spouted not so long ago, i.e., the Rodgers is losing the dressing room. That was one of the ones I saw. I mean, you were howling about. Remember, we had a laugh about it. Rodgers doesn't have control of the dressing room. See if any of these guys didn't want to be there, they wouldn't have signed the long-term contracts. It's not just about protecting assets, Merrill. That's not just a business. You've got to look at the aspect, mate. Some of the players actually want to play for Celtic. I'll give you an example. Kyogo, the wee man loves it. He just oozes Celtic. That's a different one, Maestro. Stan Petrov knew he was going to get the club money if he done that. But none of these boys have looked at that as a lucrative point of view from themselves or for the club. Now, it wasn't long ago, guys, that we heard that the Japanese lads were all going to leave because Ange was away. Every one of them have all signed new deals.
Don't get angry, Cool still away to Spurs in January. He's still away.
Mental. Absolutely mental. And people just need to calm down a wee bit and start
a lot of it's on media.
Stop reading into the papers and the media. It's not these journalists or these guys that think, they know everything.
I seen a comment with Paul, and I agree with Paul.
The only person that knows, sorry, Ryan, I'll let you back in. The only person that knows anything that's going on is Brendan Rodgers. Now, Pegleg makes a comment a few moments ago. He says, what about the players that Brendan Rodgers wants? Well, Brendan, a short time ago, Pegleg had let us all into a wee secret as to how things work now at Celtic. So he works closely with the recruitment team. He goes and tells them a certain profile. Managers don't go now and say, I want Messi, I want Luis Suarez, I want this or I want that. I was astonished, Ryan, that he still had fans thinking that the manager goes up with a message list to the board and says, right, get into Asda for him, get into Morrison's for him, get into Tesco for him, go to Sainsbury's for him. Oh, he's good. Get him out of Marks and Spencer's. Get me 2 Colin the Caterpillars when you're in there and all. That's not how transfers work. It just isn't. I know you're laughing, Ryan, but some of the comments you're seeing, mate, is.
See, if anybody's got a loose end tonight or tomorrow or this week, go and watch the overlap with Gary Neville and Keane and Wright. And they're talking about recruitment, and they're actually talking about who do they think should sign the players and who they think shouldn't sign the players. And some of them are saying the manager, some are saying the recruitment team, and Roy Keane said it should be the manager. It should be the both. Obviously, the manager should get the final say so because he's obviously coaching the team.
What show am I going to? Kevin, we don't shop that shop, mate.
I go to Victoria's Secret for that. I go to Ann Summers for that.
Sorry, folks, I should have said that was an informed opinion of a message list that managers take to the Celtic board.
The recruitment staffs. If anybody, again, if you want to watch on our podcast or on our Netflix documentary, the Sunderland documentary, that shows you a bit about recruitment. They get a list of players and they go right to the manager. Right, he's available. This is what we can give you. we can't get him, he's too dear. This is so. The manager these days works with the board, the recruitment team. They all work together. No, obviously the board don't pick the players, but they all work in terms of if they can't afford this player, they'll go to the next player. They'll go to the next player. So I want us. There's a good point that Paul did make him. I do agree with you, Paul. It does look sometimes that the board.
It's amazing where the chat is. Sorry, Ryan. It's amazing where the chat goes.
No.
Say one or two things,
I do agree with Paul's comment. He's made a good point because sometimes I do believe that sometimes on the outset it does look like we just want to stay ahead of them across the water. And if you look at AGM, there's some of the comments for the AGM.
Well, that's the main objective. As long as we stay ahead. I
get what Paul's saying in terms of it was the same as when I still say JP. The biggest downfall that happened to us in the last few years was when they get liquidated. Know that, but what happened after that when we just stayed afloat, when we just signed guys just to win the league. Right? We'll just win the league, and then
is that when their old team get defunct and their new team had to set up shop in the league?
It sounds that in terms of the quality of players and the way we were working, the downfall to us was actually them. I know. When they went down to the third division due to liquidation, right? I think that's where we stopped for a few years. We didn't go and try and sign amazing players to progress as i.e. European football, and I don't want that to happen again, JP. I don't want us to just go, right, okay, I get what Paul's saying because I can see in certain degrees why when we're signing 500 grand players all the time, £1 million players, it's just to keep afloat in domestic wise. And I can get the sense that we want to go and spend £3, £4, £5 million in good impact players. I want us to go and get guys, I'm not saying in terms of, guys like KT. That's the guys you want, that quality. Go and pay the money, go and get them. But it's not just because of where we are in Scotland, it's not always going to work that. I want us to
You talk about KT Turnstile here?
I
get a black horse, a cherry tree.
Jesus, man. I'm a big admirer of. I'll be doing that about another time. Don't worry about that. I'm a big admirer of Celtic signing guys. A big money to come in, make an impact. We all want it. We all think that guys like Yang, some think that guys like Yang or Home or guys who are maybe signed as what they call project players, right? And instead of signing 3 aim, why don't you spend £6 million on a quality player who's going to come in and impact you? We all want that. You want that, yeah. JP, I want that. But as much as it frustrates the living hell out of me, the model of the club is not going to change unless you totally take out the recruitment team, you take out some of the board, and you rip out the culture of the club, because the way the board are built and the recruitment team have all built this, it's the way we are going to go. Unless somebody else takes over the recruitment team and somebody else is in the board, it's not going to change as much as we want it to happen. And I get you, Pegleg. I get you. We've got all this money in the bank. I get that, right? And we want to go and spend £5 million in players. I want that to happen. I want us to go and get the best that we can. But just because we've got that money, like I say, it doesn't mean we go and spend overboard on certain players that might not fit the value of the money they're asking. Just say, last bit about me, Jeff, and I'll let you back in. About Miovski, right? Good player.
Just tell me you were going to go, I haven't made an half cover there.
Miovski's a decent player, right? And he probably would be third to second choice striker. He'd maybe come in and help Kyogo. He'll score you goals in Scotland. Ideally, I think Celtic can look a lot better.
Is he ahead of Big O?
I would say so, mate. Personally, I don't think O's going to cut the mustard at Celtic longer term. I think
that's a big shout.
He's done 5. I know he scored 5 goals at 11 this season, something like that. But over the piece, I don't know exact goals here, so don't shoot me down. It might be 12 goals or something in 40 to 50 games or something. I don't know what it is.
We all know what it's like in here, and Ryan makes predictions. You get new 5-year contracts.
I do not think longer term O's going to challenge Kyogo. I know he's a young guy. He's got a lot of development to do, and he could, but just my opinion, Celtic needs somebody to go and challenge a wee man, because I don't think O's fine as your third choice striker to come in and play now again. I think he's able to now to come in and play, but longer term, if we want to be, but Mr. Lawwell says, and Mr. Desmond and Rodgers, and what we want as a club to be Champions League clubs, O, in my opinion, is not going to do that for Celtic. I think we've seen that as it stands at the moment.
So with that, Kevin. So with that.
I would take him. This is the last point I'm going to say, Kevin, because I know I'm going to do it here, but Kevin, in terms of Miovski, I would take Miovski if he was, if it was like say he's £3 million, right, £3.5, and he's going to come in and maybe help you domestically. You can rest the wee man some games and then play him in Europe. I'll take it all day long. But Aberdeen rejected, I think it was £2.5 million for Duke, who's not playing a week for Aberdeen. So they're probably going to want 6, 5.5, 6 for Miovski. Why should Celtic as a club going? Yeah, you've seen me naked, big boy, in a football park. I've not got a 6-pack, by the way, Blake. You know that?
Oh my God!
I've not got a 6-pack.
Oh my God!
I scored a 6-pack during the game. I was brilliant.
It's in a Tesco bag for life underneath them. 6 cans of Stella.
I'm trying to get the 6-pack, but as it stands, I'm just sporting the gym. I'm not at the gym. But in terms of my offside, JP, in a series...
What machine do you like, Ryan? I like the vending machine.
The vending, I like that, no? Oh, Galaxy Caramel. Oh, man. That's what I
guess your old bicep curl's going that one, doesn't it?
That's what I call silky smooth. But on a series, Miovski, right? See, Celtic is... I know Italian teams might go and do it. They might think that that's value. Celtic to go and spend £5.5 to £6 million on what he's done so far in his career, in my opinion, is crazy value. I think it's crazy value to go and spend £6 million or £5.5 million, which they're maybe potentially going to ask for, which Aberdeen are rightly so to ask for. But why should Celtic pay overboard for somebody that might not come in and play every single week? I would rather go to a European-based club or somewhere different that's going to come in. He's a bit of, he's maybe 27, 26, proper European experience, come in, make an impact and challenge a wee man. I don't feel, well, I don't know, Paul, but I'm just basing on the fact that they knocked back £2.5 million for Duke, who isn't a guy who plays every week now.
Oh.
So I'm maybe assuming they might ask upwards to £5 million for Miovski.
He got a back injury, man. So that's probably why
but he's not really played much. Miovski, see if it's £3-4 million, 3.5, say at a push. I would take him because I think that's probably his value. I think unless you're outside Celtic and Rangers, them across the water, as much as they might not have the quality we've got, they've still got decent players, decent value in terms of the only two clubs, in my opinion, JP. People might think it's snobbery, people might think it's just been disrespectful. I don't know. But snobbery. The only, in my opinion, the only clubs in Scotland that should be getting £6 to £7 million for their players is Celtic and Rangers, like them across the water. Abroad can pay that if they want. But Celtic...
Hold on. No. Go back a minute. Hold on. Because before we need to edit this...
What?
Did you just say them across the water? They should be getting six. Who are you paying £6 million for in their team?
No, I'm talking about...
I know what you're talking about, but I'm just trying to...
As a perspective, the only...
You nearly tractor beam me like Michael Beale. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. You nearly tractor beam me there, mate.
The only thing, I say it again, it's just my opinion, mate. If other clubs who do South, Italy, Spain, if they want to go and spend £6 million or £5.5 million, £5 million on an Aberdeen striker, then and that fits their value of the club, then that's fine. But in my opinion, Celtic, £5 million for an Aberdeen striker who's done okay. He's done okay for Aberdeen. He's done well, right? He's no wow, by the way. Damn it, Celtic now. He'll come in and challenge a wee man. He'll come in and qualifies for the last 16 of the Champions League. I think Celtic, in my opinion, JP, for the value of money, can go and get a better player abroad or like Scandinavia or Sweden or something like that type of ilk that's been there and done it. And I don't know if you think the same, mate, but I just think the value of money for Miovski.
By the way, happening straight after this show.
I might
Craig,
not be
don't you worry about it.
Is that on that comment? And come with me and fly me to the moon. No, but on that, JP, I don't know how you feel, mate. I know I've probably went a long story there, mate, for a shortcut, but Miovski for the value Aberdeen one, I think Celtic would be crazy. Again, we can't look on hindsight.
Right.
I'm only looking on right now as a value to go and pay £5 million for either Miovski or Lonnie Shanton would be crazy value, and it doesn't It wouldn't sit well with me, mate, paying that money for players that might not come in and play every week.
Right. I'm going to simplify this and try and put a picture in somebody's, like one of your heads or somebody's head, preferably, if I can do it. Take away the Aberdeen factor for Bojan Miovski, right? So Bojan Miovski currently doesn't play for Aberdeen, right? And I'm telling any news on here tonight, breaking news, Celtic have had a transfer bid accepted of £3.5 million for a Macedonian international striker. He's 24 and just say he has 11 goals in 18 games. How many people on here right now that would excite?
£3.5 million for me would be fine, mate, but no 5.5.
So,
that's crazy.
Listen. That what Aberdeen have what's said in the media doesn't mean that's the truth.
Yep, no, I know, 100%.
So, if I was to say that to you just now, and Celtic go tomorrow and put that bid in,
it could be £5.5 million in dog biscuits.
Yes. So, Plunge's name's Bojan Miovski, mate.
Miovski. Saying that, by the way, JP, this is probably the first transfer.
And he's a Macedonian international striker.
This is probably the first time in about 10 years that we've been linked with Bojan.
There you
Every
go.
window we were linked
There you
to
go. You've got to see the headline tomorrow. Bojan linked for Celtic, and it's got to be Miovski. Maybe they're watching. I don't know. They might be. Maybe I'm not a football agent. If anybody's thinking that, I'm definitely not. But I would agree with you, Pegleg. Yes, he is better than O. He's far ahead of O. He's 24. He's 24. He's a ready-made player. He's a big boy. He can put it about. He puts
that's him, Maestro. Bojan, that was him.
He puts the fear into the team across the water, even when he plays against them currently at Aberdeen. He can score all types of different goals. He's a left footer. So, yeah, as I said, guys, for me, it's a no-brainer. The lazy part in it all is we don't even need to scout him. He's there.
I agree with you. I think 3.5 would be...
Blake, the thing is, that's the going rate you pay. The guy, he plays in a position, Blake, that is golden, mate. That's why you pay the big money for... You pay big money for strikers.
Golden balls. Get him on golden balls.
He's mobile. He can run. He can, he can tackle. He can play with his back to goal. He can play with two up front. He can play as a one. He's got a lot of different attributes, folks. A lot of different attributes. Celtic could do a lot worse in this transfer window and go and maybe sign someone else that maybe doesn't work out, like another Yeti.
There's one on
the good
Claire's,
thing about Miovski is he's here.
It's quite a good question, Claire. The one that pops into my mind for the summer, whether or not it was close, Daniel Podence. £8 million for Wolves, experience in Europe. He's done it in the Premier League. He'd have been an absolute fantastic sign. He's doing well at Olympiacos. I think, don't you feel, JP? Good question, Claire. That's just one off the top of my mind that could come in at Celtic for that, really about that price range and could be fantastic. So, but Miovski, I'm agreeing with you. If it's £3.5 million, JP, I think that's a good value signing. But at $5 million, if it's $5.5 million, I agree again with G. What G says again. If we went to the Championship with Tony and done well, but you can't. It's just me, JP. You might be different, and the board might look different, and Brendan might look different, and other fans. You can't say right now the future. You can only go on right now as a value and right now. And I feel Celtic should pay £5.5 or £5 million for what they might be talking for an Aberdeen striker.
Aberdeen aren't getting that unless it's a mad championship team down south for somebody abroad.
I'm only going by reports, right? Reports.
Yeah, Blake. He scored in Europe too. He scored against Frankfurt.
I think if it was £5.5 million, mate, I think that's crazy talk. But £2 million less, and I think you probably get a decent deal, mate. I think you're spot on. I think that'd be a decent value for him. But it's up to other clubs. It's not anything, mate.
I would be. See if Celtic were to pay £3 million for Bojan Miovski, I would be very excited. Very excited because I think he's. I've said it to you, Ryan. This is me personally. I would even go as high as that, Peg. Yeah, definitely. I would even go as high as a 4. Because like I said to Blake a second ago, Peg, you pay more for strikers, mate. That's where they're worth their weight in gold when they scored goals for you.
That's
And this big guy...
That's why I was signed with a lot of clubs. I was a journeyman, know what I mean?
Aye, we've seen that. Now you're just a jumper, man.
Jumpers with goalposts.
Jumpers with... In fact, Utrecht have put up a set of goals for you tonight.
Oh, by the way...
The big Gammon Lammers is coming to town, man.
See, with one knee, I'm telling you, I am better than him. Telling you with one knee, honestly. He'll need to shoot.
I was better than him before I had my operation in my left ankle. I'm talking about literally before it when I went down to the operating theatre. But yes, no. Tomorrow night, folks, there's a lot of questions coming in. Tomorrow night, we're actually doing a live Q&A, and it's for you guys. Now, that's been out all over social media today. And we will be doing questions. It'll be myself, Ryan, Big Alan's going to join us again. He's reassured us that he's going to straighten himself out and get away all the creases that he made a mess of himself coming down the stair earlier on. And Barry Bannon is also going to join us tomorrow. And should be a good chat. And we'll be doing a live Q&A, folks. So anybody at all that's got any questions, anything you want to... I was going to say anything you want to throw at us, but I know you definitely want to do that. I'm going to maybe rephrase it.
After Marats, it'll be...
Especially you. I mean, you're hitting out with... You're getting... Especially you. You're hitting out with, like... I'm trying to envisage who as you're talking about for 6 million in their team.
Well, nobody. I'm just trying to put it as a perspective that, in my opinion, the only two clubs that should be getting bids for that type of money, in my opinion, at the standard of player, maybe not the standard player they've got, right? But in years gone past as well, in my opinion, JP, the only club that should be getting bids up to that amount of money is Celtic and Michy, unless they have got an absolute belter in their ranks, i.e. like the wee boy at Dundee who was on loan for Liverpool. If he was down south, he'd be worth a lot of money if he was playing with them down south. So that's where you look at the talent that you can get, and I'm not going to be snobbery in terms of the boy Beck. I said I would take him. He can maybe be Taylor's understudy, maybe come in, but we're trying to get guys to come in and ideally come in and be impact players. Like we've said today, you do need squad players, and guys will be told you will be in the squad, or you might need to come on and fight for your place. Nobody, in my opinion, unless you're getting signed for Vickers money or Jota money or Edward money, very rarely will you be told you're going to be a guaranteed starter, because there's already guys in that. We had a conversation about it. There's already guys in.
Nobody knew who he was.
No.
Before he came here.
There's already
so we didn't
guys
know if he was going to be a regular starter.
There's already guys who are playing right now. So the guys who are going to come in and play need to be either far better than them or up to that level. So that's why you've got a squad. Well, we all know James McCarthy, who for me, fantastic career. It's just unlucky for him that it's no worked at Celtic. I thought at the time, good signing. James McCarthy was brought to come in with a bit of maybe leadership skills from the past, and he's days in the Premier League, experience with Ireland. I think he's a lot of, is it 7 or 8 caps for Ireland or something? He's a lot of caps for Ireland. Good experience, pedigree, to come in and help that team in the rebuild. And he's probably done the job behind the scenes, because as far as we've been told, JP, if you look at reports...
I think some of them are HUD caps, half motors, mate. I don't know.
If you look at some of the players are saying beyond the white line, he's amazing in the dressing room, he's a good character. And
yes.
You don't need players like that in the squad, mate. And I do feel that sometimes we get bogged down that every player has to be an impact player. You still need guys in the squad to obviously get rotated. So I'm agreeing with you, mate, in terms of that as well.
Yes, and obviously that brings us to the end of our wonderful chat tonight. I've not got that wee button, but no, Kevin. So we, mate, we've got to go on. So
come
it's good having you on again, Kevin. And you're singing 2 different songs there, Ryan, and you're starting to confuse the life out of me, man.
Oh, bro.
But anybody again that's tuned in, folks, feel free to share around your Celtic family if you've shared in for the first time, and please hit the like and the subscribe button, because it's free to do it. we try and do the best we can. We try and make you laugh. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. That's the joys of this. And just to let you all know also that this podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment. And the AB Entertainment is a DJ and entertainment business. It's run by a man called Alec Beveridge, hence the reason for the AB. And the number that's on your screen, folks, is a number to contact if you want any DJ hire. So if you can't see the number, I'll do you a courtesy. The number is 07845 746 092. You can also hit Alec up there on the WhatsApp via that number as well. Drop him a wee message, let him know who you are, what you're looking for, and he'll accommodate you as best he can. Also, folks, he's on Facebook and Instagram as well. Myself and Ryan have probably took up way too much of your time tonight, folks. It's been a good chat, though. A lot of good points. But like I says, folks, if anybody's got any real good questions that you want to get answered or get across, please come on tomorrow night. And yeah, that's exactly what we are going to do.
By the way, Mike, so I don't know if you tune often, but if you see me and JP now and very recently in the Blaine Valley, you would know I'm not good in karaoke, mate.
No, but if you see us up Ashton Lane, you know we're West End girls, so don't worry about that, mate.
Oh,
you're all right.
Jesus, man, that's Jesus. That's a Jeremy Simon in it sometimes.
Aye, but no, that's happening right now. Don't worry about it. That's happening right now after we finish.
Have you seen that video of the guy getting breathalyzed? It's not breathalyzed, he's like blowing it.
It's a walkie-talkie.
It's a walkie-talkie.
Aye. We're not going to repeat but say that at the other end of the walkie-talkie thing. As I say, it is a family show. Chris, thank you very much. Thank you again.
That's 9 till 5. I like that one, Kev. Aye.
Yeah, Kev. Aye. Aye, definitely.
Oh, brilliant.
Next week you're 2 to 10. Anyway,
a
massive hail to everyone that's here tonight. And take care, everybody. We will be back tomorrow evening at the time of 8:30 plunge. So set your diary, mate, and set your wee alarm clock as well. You might even have time to heat your beans up, mate, before you decide to join us tomorrow. All in all, folks, it's been a privilege and a pleasure sitting with you again, Ryan, and having a good chat and a laugh. And we'll see you all again, folks. Hey, well.
Take care.